Hola, senors and
What's going
senoritas.
on?
Hola,
What's
hola,
What's
up?
going
hola.
on?
The Apostle?
What's
It's
up, fellas?
what day's today? Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday, man. Thursday. You know it's almost March.
Yeah, yeah,
Damn.
I do.
This has been the very. I think because Lewis and I both have new combination new cars coming out. I think that we're so pressed for time and we're so crunched for days that this off season has just gone by so fast. Like
Yeah.
you get put back a week and it really puts you back a couple weeks. And, Lewis and I were on the phone earlier today. We got to be testing down south in the first week of April.
Yeah,
So we're
Yeah.
just, man, if I could slow the clock down, I wish we could kind of slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. I
yeah,
wanted to do a big Jake's race, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. So it is what it is, I understand stuff takes time. But
yeah.
I've been waiting a long time.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I feel your pain, my buddy. You and I talk a couple times a week, and it's just, there's only so many really good fabricators and shops that can do this type of work. I'm not a Billy Gordon where I can do it all myself. Billy
mm,
Gordon is complete turnkey. Now he can do it. He doesn't do his own painting, but everything else, man, Billy does it all.
wow.
Tuning, fabrication, everything.
hmm
And I'm just not that talented. You know what I
Right.
mean? I,
Right.
I just never had that, was never afforded that opportunity to learn it and even have the desire to do that kind of stuff. So we rely heavily on shops that are well known, that do great work, like Don and some of the people like Kevin Nimmerker that does all the wiring and stuff for us. So we're kind of at the mercy of everybody else, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Brian? You got a car. You got a Honda Civic or something, right?
Nah, I got
He's
out the
got a
Honda
Sentra, a
stuff.
Nissan. He's got a Nissan Sentra.
um, nah, I got out of that and I switched on over when I got into No Time, man. I kind of fell in love with it, and I was actually blessed with the third gen F body Firebird. So I got blessed with that, and I went down a rabbit hole just doing a whole
Oh, a
LS
Firebird.
combination.
Not even a Camaro.
Yeah.
You went with the Firebird.
Hey, you know what? That's probably the most aerodynamic GM car there is.
You know what? I
So
have I have to agree with you. I'm a huge fan of the third gens.
I love
Yeah.
a third gen. I like the T top, thing about it. So, but yeah, I like that car, and I wanted to build it. So I kind of did everything myself. It's basically just a basic 5.3 SB, combination, Gen 4 internals.
So you're a little Billy Gordon. What you're telling me? You're a little black Billy Gordon.
Basically, you know what? But I don't do no transmissions. I don't
Hey,
do no transmissions.
the funny thing is, I was on a podcast the other night with Dog and all of them guys, and there's probably 100 of us on there, and they had Travis Harvey on there, and he had his camera turned off, but he was speaking, and we all know Travis is a
Yeah,
black gentleman, but
yeah.
him and Billy Gordon, you could not tell them two apart. If you heard them on the telephone, you wouldn't know who was who.
No, no,
Really?
no. When I first met Travis, I was like, dang, man, this
The
dude.
most
I
the
know
most country,
countryest accent I've ever heard ever. I was like, man, it threw me
yeah.
all the way off. It threw me all the way. It's like I thought I was gonna get like an Antron Brown voice, right?
So
But
yeah.
yeah, right. Like,
And
but it was different.
if you've
It's
ever,
like the country version.
if you've ever met Travis, he is the most humble, laid back, chillest, coolest guy known to
Yeah,
mankind.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right? Keith Holland
yeah,
said anything fast? Hell no, nothing's fast.
yeah.
I
Man, we
mean,
all buds.
I mean faster than
Yeah.
you, Keith.
None of
You
our
can't
cars
you
are
can't
working
beat
right
us.
now.
Yeah,
None of
right.
our cars are
Yeah,
working right now. So we're going back. Our cars are going in reverse right now.
So hey, let me
yeah.
ask you guys a question before we start this show because we got some stuff we got to talk about with the heavy hitters and the heavy hitter street and stuff like that. Let me ask you two a question. If you were to pick the top two grudge drivers, let's not say nationwide because we really don't know the West Coast that well. Let's say Florida to Connecticut. Who's your top two? Top two
Current
grudge racers
or of all time?
all time, up to date.
Up to date all time. Oh man, this is.
That's
Well, I'll tell
hard.
you. I'll tell you who my two were. Mine was Travis Harvey and probably, and this is who brings the most attention, that brings the most hype to the game, and who can jump in pretty much anything and drive it. Of course, we want to say ourselves. I think I'm a pretty good fucking driver, but my top two is Travis Harvey and probably Triggerman. I think those two are two solid. I got a cat that's going crazy, like that knows I'm on the podcast and it's going nuts. Travis Harvey and probably Triggerman are my top two.
What do you say, Brian?
Ooh. Travis Harvey and
You can save me, Brian. It's okay, buddy.
no, Travis Harvey and Marquise Hatton.
See, listen, I love Marquise, and he can jump in, different things, but Marquise doesn't scare me. None of them scare me. I mean, I get in the, I get in the car. It doesn't matter who I'm racing against, but I mean, Marquise is, he's definitely in the top.
M-
I'd say he's in the top 5.
Marquise, the race that really did it for me was y'all don't even probably remember this is when they had that 4-car shootout at MIR for a mag race and
When he
they
had
jumped
King
in.
Kong, he had King Kong.
No, it was prior to that. It's when he had the 4th gen. It's when they had
Oh yeah,
the 4th gen. I
Oh
can't
yeah,
even think of
yeah,
that,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. What was that car's name? Man, I can't remember that car's name.
Um,
Damn, I forget.
I can't. But we all know
So
that. Yeah,
that's your 2 picks. What about you,
that's my
Lewis?
2 picks.
I would say Travis Harvey.
Yeah.
And you said I can pick one from prior because I have a guy who
Anybody you
doesn't.
want up to 2025. Now, grudge,
So
no time.
so somebody that still grudge races.
I would say, in the last 5 to 8 years.
Stevie Fast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely is a great driver. He brings hype. I'm not a fan of Stevie Fast anymore, but that's a good pick. That's a good
Yeah.
pick. I mean, because he does it all. He does Radio versus the World. He does grudge racing. He does a World
It would
Series of
either have to be
Claymont.
Stevie Fast or Lyle Barnett.
Yeah,
Lyle is stepping, man. Lyle
Lyle's
is
just a fucking killer on the tree.
yeah.
yeah, Lyle's
Yeah.
good. Lyle's good. And I originally picked Kai Kelly, and Willie Dog jumped all over me. He goes, no, he's not really a grudge racer. But Kai's a bad dude too. Kai Kelly's a
Mhm.
bad motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But anyway, I didn't mean to monopolize the
no,
first 10
you're
minutes
good.
of the show.
No, that's fine.
You know me, my lips run too much.
No, Brian, what's the setup on the F body?
It's a LF
K20.
combination 5. I wish, man. It's a 2J, right? It's a 5.3 Gen 3 block with Gen 4 internals. Just the basic stuff. With a custom ground cam from Tick. Valve springs retainers.
What size
You
turbo?
know, it's a small one. It's a 78-75, but that's going away. That's going to be going away. After fooling with Richard and fooling with you guys and going to the track and start learning more and more and more, like that's out of there. That's not, is that combination enough to beat some of the smaller guy no time cars? Absolutely, but that's
Yeah.
not what I want. I need something a whole lot more. I need a lot more.
Will you be doing shootouts with it or grudge?
Yeah, I'm gonna do shootouts and then I'm gonna do grudge, right? So I like the street car stuff, so that's what it is. It's still a street car, like it's got an 850 cage in it, right? It's got everything to a 15-gallon cell, so I can drive it down the street and back if I wanted. So I can drive it to Wawa, whatever.
Listen,
So
what the people want to know is if you have the Knight Rider.
no, I don't like that. I don't like that whatsoever. I know that's like a thing for people, but for me, I like the 89 front. So like I got 92, but I'm getting rid of that front. I'm getting the 89 front and just deleting the pop-up headlights. Like I'm getting rid of all that. I did it just for aerodynamics. Aerodynamics and weight.
Justin Conrad wants to know when your car's gonna be done so you guys can lock it in.
Tell him you fired that bitch up last week.
I fired it up just last week, man.
So will you bring it to Big Fred's race?
I'm gonna try. I got a couple little small things I gotta do, like suspension stuff. Like I need some suspension up front.
The only bad thing about that is Brian's running the heavy hitter street class for us, and it's hard to. That's why Brian took over the reins for me about a year and a half ago. Tommy Lawrence helped big time in the first.
Yeah.
So Lewis, you were the very first heavy hitters race up at Capitol.
Yeah.
I mean, we're OG. That's back in what 2021.
2020.
Yeah, it was like right after
2020.
COVID.
Yeah,
it was
I think everyone talks about, oh, you can't get a car. I think we had 21 275 cars and 18 or 19 heavy hitter street. I mean, that was, besides the track not being where it needed to be, the car count was there. And the reason why we started the heavy hitters and the heavy hitter street was there was nowhere for people to race at the time.
Right.
Things were gone. The no clock street was kind of gone, and there wasn't any platform. So, I started that, and Tommy Lawrence helped out big time, and then Tommy got so involved with No Clock Street and did a great job with that. He couldn't do both. And with me racing and traveling, I couldn't do it. So Brian being as good as he is, and as far as being organized and doing the the camera work and promoting it. Bryon took it over from me, what, about a year and a half ago?
Yeah, about a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Hold on,
Wow.
Luis Martinez. Justin Connors said, "Let Luis Martinez know when he were ready. We can get something to happen. I'm almost ready
Yeah.
to get myself."
Justin's a good friend of mine. The motor for Athena's car is actually at his house. So
Oh yeah.
he's doing the motor on it.
Oh, cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's where, so people that don't know, that's where Heavy Hitters and Heavy Hitter Street started. Was I was just trying to, I'm DMV through and through. I'm DMV to the core, and I was just trying to give people a place to run some shootouts and have some fun. And at the time, we really had high hopes for Capital, which obviously it's fell on its fucking face, and there's
Right.
obvious
I
reasons.
honestly don't know how he stays in business because it's empty.
Bullshit.
Like as far
It's
as
bullshit.
the drag racing side, I heard the drifting side or whatever is always full every weekend.
Yeah, and that's probably where he's getting his business from. And he
Yeah.
does a lot of
Look,
kind of like
drifting looks
street
fun.
stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of the street guys around that area come in, and they can go there and they can run decent. They don't need a premier track like a lot of us do. Like we need Jimmy Bradshaw track. We need what Cecil used to be. I mean Cecil. I'm sorry, what Capital used to be.
Right.
So
But
I mean we gave it a valiant effort, and we put on a great show that very first show, and man, we tried, but that guy's ego is just way surpasses his fucking mental capacity, I guess.
well, it was like it seemed like the prep was okay up until like the 3:30.
Oh
Like
yeah,
at
we
the
all. I think all of us got very loose out. I mean, we went to the
yeah,
finals and we ended up splitting because it got late and it was getting dangerous. And I said, I don't want to wreck
Right.
the car.
yeah, yeah.
I remember that. But it was still good, man. I mean, we still had a good time, but
No, we had a great time. Bryon, are you running the street?
yes, I'm the one that's running the whole streetcar. Anything to do with Heavy Hitter Street, any streetcar shootout at Fred's races is going to be a DMV No Time Heavy Hitters.
Yeah, we need Keith to come back. The last time we
setup.
saw Keith, he came down and he kind of got screwed over by MR a little bit. And
He's got a pro mod.
Keith, no. No, Keith. Let me tell you something. Keith's trained to go, and I enjoy it anytime Keith comes. Andrew Farmer, Keith, any of those guys outside of our normal Heavy Hitter Street, man, I love when those guys come. And we opened up a
The
couple
rules
times
for
the
Wakefield.
rules for those guys, and man, the more the merrier. I think it's a good class. I think it brings a lot of attention, and
I mean, more people have those types of cars. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? And I don't want to put this the wrong way, but the average working man can build a car to compete, right? Not taking anything from
absolutely.
not taking anything from fucking Tommy or Daniel Buckler, the guys that spend a ton of money in their cars. But Daniel Buckler is a working man. He by no means is rich or wealthy or has all this extra capital to spend. He's a working guy like all three of us are. Like I get up every day and put my boots and my jeans on and go to work,
Yep.
And that class allows you to build a car and be competitive,
Yep.
So, and with that being said, I mean, we're still, I still stand by it. The No Clock Street Heavy Hitters Street guys are the fastest cars in the nation in that realm of rules.
Yeah.
It's not like the rules, and the rules are not that crazy. They're a pretty open set of rules. And Bryon can touch on that if you want. He can tell you. I told them I'm racing in, but too many Chiefs to count me, and I don't know who I'm supposed to tell. You just tell Bryon. And listen,
just tell me I got it.
Yeah,
I got it from there.
Bryon's got full control. It's my brand, but Bryon is my side man. He's my number one. Bryon's got total control. Whatever he wants to do, he's got it.
So let's talk a little bit about the class. Like, what are the rules?
Oh man,
what's it like? All that stuff.
Well, DMB No Time Heavy Hitter Street is like, let's say this is where anybody can play, right? It's any type of street car can play. There's different groups, different classes that all have different rules. For us, we wanted to keep it just to a minimal set of rules so everybody can come race and come have fun, right? We don't worry about weights. We don't worry about what fuel you're on, right? You can have any fuel in the class.
We did, but we changed it.
Yeah, we did change it. We changed it, and the reason why was because when we started traveling to other regions, those guys were on methanol or
Look,
something like that.
hey, hold on. Look at the comments. Tommy said he's got the most raggedy car, and Daniel said that's the most expensive raggedy motherfucker I've ever seen. So they listen. The guys in No Clock Street and the guys in the Heavy Hitter Street, they like to downplay their shit. Them motherfuckers are fast. You know,
Yeah, Tommy will get on, and talk about NCS as well too. So we will have another guest for you.
Yeah. If you want to send an invite to Tommy, get
Yeah, I
Tommy
can do
on
that.
there.
Yeah, he will.
I
He will
see.
be
I
the
see
perfect.
Billy Brown fucking putting the little dots up.
He's got some eyes in there.
I saw him.
Yes, so there's some eyes in there, right? So, but just to go basic over the rules, it's very simple, man. Got to be registered and tagged. I don't care about insurance because we're at the track, right? Got to be all steel, all glass. You can have fiberglass. You know, you can have except your hood, trunk, and bumpers. They can be carbon fiber or whatever. I don't care. Front and back glass can be optic armor. So, and that's specifically for safety.
Listen, we all know there's not that much weight savings. That's for safety. I mean, honest to God, that's for safety.
Case in point, the drag and drive when the boys with the vert, I can't even think of
Devin.
Yeah, Devin. When their windshield imploded, right? And that's glass. And you go down the track and you got glass hitting your face. It doesn't feel good. Glass doesn't feel good, period, right?
No.
So that's just for that safety reason there and for cleanup, right? You can have any engine, any transmission. And I'm gonna put a big, when I say any transmission, I don't care. There's a lot of guys, there's a lot of shootouts that stick overdrive only, and it's got to be a new gen. It's got to be all this. I don't care about that stuff because at the end of the day, if the car can drive on the street and you want to race, you're going to race, right? I'm not skipping years or anything else like that. So any suspension,
We see.
along with any fuel, like I said, we did have back. It was this, no methanol, but we have opened that up for everybody to come in, regardless of what fuel you have. No tube chassis cars.
Two
What
front
else?
seats.
Two front seats and a stock appearing dash, and on a 275 tires, which you come on, right? That's the biggest tire.
No wheelie bars. So listen, it's whatever combo, man. You want to bring a big block on twins? Bring a big block on twins. And the class has never had any type of negativity or arguing or fighting, and it's been pretty successful. And we try to travel like we're going to Larry McKenzie's show, Brawl for It All. We've been to OBX. I mean, we're trying to travel with the group a little more. We're having a hard time, Lewis, finding other areas that can fucking run with those guys. You know what I mean? Yeah, we've called out the nation. And we've even opened up the methanol rule, and we've had people like Keith who stepped up and some other people, Jason Blankenship. But for the most part, these motherfuckers are scared. Excuse my language. Is this a kid from
I even said all-wheel drive is legal. I said all-wheel drive was legal. I said I added another one because we got guys that have 2Js and stuff like that, right? I said any import combination of 4 and 6 cylinder is come to win. So I literally gave a pass for anybody with something outside of that to come in and come play, like, because we want to see great action, right? This is a class that brings attention. Like if you go to Fred's race, you will see the star line. People will be crowded up. If you saw what happened on a Wednesday night at War on Wheels when it was the NCS list versus the DMB top 10 list, and you saw the crowd and saw how packed it was.
Bryon, hold on one second. John Murphy said he's 43, been racing forever. I'm 52, been racing forever too. And you're right. I've seen a windshield come apart and blow glass in a guy's helmet where he didn't have his visor down, because I'm famous for it. I don't put my visor down when I make a pass.
Yeah.
I agree. It's very far and few between. But the weight savings, and trust me, I know I build cars all the time. The weight savings isn't that much. The optic armor is a little safer, so that's why we allow the.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback on that one. So down at Peso's race, right? Jam Pony, William Brown's car had front windshield, had glass still in it, right? The car wheelie, smacked down, came back up, came back down.
Well,
glass shattered. Yeah. Glass shattered. It was everywhere. And we had it. Yeah, it was bad. So you got to clean that up. We're trying to prevent stuff from like that happening. You know what I mean? It's not about it's never happened. It's when is it going to happen? What are we going to do? The next step, right?
And so, we're not saying that you have to. I mean, run glass for all. I mean, run glass if you want to. We're just telling you that we're not going to hurt you if you want to run some optic armor. You're not saving that much weight.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Look, hey, welcome, Tommy.
Big Tommy.
Listen, he's getting ready to fuck the whole show because he's got a fucking Android.
You can flip it sideways.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
You can flip it sideways. Sure. You can flip it sideways if you want to charge it. That way you can charge up and still got life.
Nah, it's all good. It should have enough.
Tommy? What's up, Tommy?
Not a lot. What's up, guys?
Just chilling, talking about
Yeah.
the history of the heavy hitter street and the NCS. I mean, you're Captain MCS. You know a lot more than we know about it, but we're just trying to get it out there a little more. Lewis does his show once or twice a month, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to spread the word on the classes that we have, and nothing better than have you on here to help talk about.
And
NCS.
congratulations on the merger.
Thank you.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
big dog right there. That was awesome, man. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna lie. I like the name. The
I
name's pretty
appreciate
fucking
it.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of that is Erica Holiday kind of. I know y'all obviously know him, but it's you know how tough it is to come up with a name for a shop.
Oh
It's
my God.
they're
Incredibly
all
tough.
taken.
Yeah.
They're
Everything's
all
taken.
taken. Yeah. Then that was
So
when you put that banner up with the name. I said, you know what, touche. That's pretty fucking good.
I like
yeah,
the unicorn joint. Yo, that unicorn joint is like
It-
gold. You know what I mean? It's gold.
it's funny.
It's-
Brandy hates that. She hates that unicorn to death. So what do you say? I'm in
Can-
black and white. He must got one of them iPhone joints.
So I mean, Tommy was at the original, the heavy hitter street.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the
The
ones
Capitol.
up there. Clinton Smith won that. And that was a pretty good payout for them guys, right? I mean, I think they went all the way to the finals and ran the finals. We didn't get a chance because the dew came in really fast. But man, that was a great.
That was a big
event.
big payout because I want to say
It was 10 grand to the big boys, and I think 6 to the heavy hitter street. I think
It would have been more if Richard didn't steal the money. That's what I heard. I'm just saying.
Pocket that joint, man.
Somebody told me that Richard stole the money to pay for his T-shirts, and that's what happened. So
that's exactly what Terrace told everybody.
I'm just putting it out there, man.
Are you?
I remember I counted that money. Man, yo,
yeah, it went on
definitely
Facebook.
was.
He put it out on live and stuff. He went live like I don't know what was this early last year, maybe the year before. He blasted that out.
Yeah,
2 years with a running sentence. There was no periods and none of that.
Hey, the funny thing is, you know who helped count the money was Lee. Lee was up there helping us.
Yeah, Lee was there, and I helped count the money. And
I didn't even see the money, which is the funny thing. Like I've more so than not, it's cost me money to put the shows on, but whatever.
So what's the difference between Heavy Hitter Street and No Clock Street?
These guys can tell you.
Yeah, so if you were to ask me, No Clock Street has a lot more rules to it. There's a lot. There's weight limits. There's combination limits, motor size limits, etc. It's really the spirit of it is geared towards the street stuff, but and I know people try to want to rule it to death. Like, oh, you got too many rules and you need to open up the rules. Well, that's actually the caveat of having Heavy Hitter Street, because you can run with those guys and it's so open. Like everybody, especially now that M1's allowed in, it's like the gloves are off. You can bring anything. It's just, the Friday night No Clock Street deal is geared towards the lower budget cars because it's broken up into those different fields, like that B field, the All-Stars, and the Elite Eight. So you got your big dogs that are running. That Elite Eight, they're fast. I'm telling you right now, I'd put up that Elite Eight up against any streetcar class in the country. I don't even care what their rules are. I promise you, it will not end well. Like it's almost like a sneak attack, right? Because most of the Elite Eight cars are the ones that run in Heavy Hitter Street. So
right, and most of those guys don't switch to methanol; they stay ethanol and still fuck up the guys that come on methanol. So
stay at the weight too. That's crazy. Nobody's taking weight out either.
Yeah. So it's just more geared towards the No Clock Street stuff is more geared towards the lower budget, the legit street cars. People cry about there's no crews. I mean, some of these people that complain about these things, they don't understand like the complexities of putting that show on a Friday night. I know it's just one night, but you're jamming everything into one night. We have on a regular basis 50 to 60 cars to run Can you imagine St. Mary's County with us trying to get 60 cars out and do a
It would take
30-minute cruise?
it would
And
take you 3 hours to do the cruise.
it
Yeah,
would be
'cause
insane, right?
So
So,
Tommy, what's the most cars you've had? 81?
well, for 2 seasons in a row, we've had 81 cars tech in. That doesn't
Wow.
mean that on a Friday night we've had 81 cars on the property. I want to say the most we've had is just a touch under 60.
That's a
Mhm.
lot of
Wow.
cars.
That's a lot of cars.
Yeah.
both the lanes was just packed all the way down, and then we started another one, and then that was packed. It was pretty good, man.
I think you need
Yeah.
to sell
Cars
your
backed
Pro
up all the way out.
275 car, Lewis, and build a no clock heavy hitter street car.
Dude, I'm about to sell it because it's just sitting in the garage.
See, that's the cool thing about these street classes, right? Just jump in something. You'll find something, you know.
Mhm.
So what tracks are you guys going to this year? Which events? Things like that.
I mean, I'll let Tommy speak. I think Tommy typically stays 95% of the time at MIR. I think they're going to travel once this year, maybe to Summer Duck.
There's a possibility of that. Like, that's something that when we did War on Wheels last year, the list versus list, it was hot. Like the place was packed. I don't know if
It
you
was
got a chance
packed.
to go there, Lewis, but
did not.
it was wild. Like the pictures and stuff that we saw afterwards just doesn't even kind of paint a realistic picture of how crazy it was.
The
But
electricity and the vibe on the starting line there and list versus list was unmatched. Like it was like World Cup energy. Not that we have World Cup people there. I'm not taking away from that, but
Right.
the energy at the starting line was very similar.
yeah, it was
There was a lot
cool.
of pride.
I wanted to do it again, but I do. I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but we blew them out. Like it was bad. I loved the guys that came up. It was a new crowd. There was so much energy, and it was all love too. That's the other thing. There was no drama.
No.
It was a great time.
They
Place
were
was
super
packed.
respectful. They were super respectful.
Everybody was respectful. Great group of
came
guys that
swinging.
traveled up.
Mhm.
But in the off season, I just didn't feel like it was kind of a fair deal for us to be like, let's run it back. And they can come and they could jump in No Clock Street. They can get in where they fit in. I'm cool with that, as long as they fit the rules. But we had come up with another idea in the off season to do this DraftKings race. So that will replace what was the list versus list at War on Wheels. We may go to the Duck to try them out. They're kind of begging us to do that, which is cool. I like the fact that we're on, they're on notice.
Mhm.
But the only downside to that is, like Richard said earlier, dude, I'm a busy guy, and it's tough to try to set a schedule so far in advance and then try to promote it. And now I've got the next gen thing going, and a lot of people don't realize that that's been going on for months. Like this isn't something that, oh, by the way, we just woke up one day, got a hold of Justin Bertram and bought that shop. We've been negotiating that out since like fall of last year. So knowing that was going to be a possibility, I didn't think it was going to be something I could handle. So I put it on Lee. I said, go ahead. What do you say? Hey, God, I'm ordering Tommy a new phone tonight. What's wrong with the phone?
It's
Man, that joint look like
You know
it
what
got,
it is? It's
it
fish
got
tank.
chicken grease on the filter, man.
Nah,
You got
it's
that
the
nice
fish
filter.
tank. It's the fish tank.
I mean, you don't sound like you're slurring or anything, so you don't
It
sound
probably
like Rocky
could
Balboa.
your camera could also be smudged too.
So I think
Chicken grease on that joint,
the
man.
big thing is with like Summer Duck is that that's the great equalizer, right? Even though you guys don't have premier prep at Bud's Creek on a Friday night, it's a great facility, but the prep is not like a heavy hitter street prep. The Duck will have great prep, but it's just I think it's going to be an equalizer. It's gonna give them guys a better opportunity to compete.
I've never been to
And
the
I
Duck.
can't wait. And I can't wait because it's like 30 minutes from my house. True story. Like that.
I've not been either, but I've been told, everybody's got the horror stories about it. It's short. You got to be standing on the brakes. You got to pull the chutes, etc. We have heavy cars, so I just don't know. I don't know. This is what I told Lee. If the team goes down, if No Clock Street fans and racers build a list and they go down, I'm coming to support regardless. So,
it's likely we'll find ourselves there. Yeah.
So
As far as the heavy hitter street, I think right now we got a race locked in at Brawlford. All Lewis, you know
Yeah.
about that. Tommy knows about that. And then the following weekend we have it's
Cecil.
back to back. We have Cecil, which is one of the best tracks on the East Coast. I mean, you're going to go. We went to our personal best in the Mustang at Cecil. I can't wait. It is going to be a lot for people. I took a week off of work in between those two, the week between, just because I mean we're going to be down in South Carolina and then traveling all the way back and then running Cecil. But I mean, it's going to be a good turnout. It's going to be a good race, and the payouts are good. Larry's putting a bunch of money on top. Um, I'll let Bryon speak on that, but it's going to be tough. Back to back weekends are tough, especially
Oh
with people
yeah.
that have kids.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big challenge, but I was so glad to actually get that opportunity. It had actually been presented to me last year, like spring, summertime. It had been offered to us just because those guys saw what we were doing up here, saw what we were bringing, what we were offering. They liked that type of shootout, and they wanted that to come down to South Carolina, right? To the Carolinas, basically, right? So when I got the opportunity, I was like, yes. So that's like a major thing for me to have that race down there. So what I also did is I always like to add a twist to everything. I like to make things interesting. I just don't want to just have a shootout. I want it to be a really great shootout. So I want to bring 8 guys from the DMV area down there to run some of the boys from the Carolinas. Now I already got 4. I've posted 3. I haven't posted the 4th one yet. That's a surprise.
And
That's a
it's
surprise.
tough.
Yeah.
It's tough because it's Easter weekend. We
Mhm.
gotta race on Friday and Saturday, and then jump on our shit and come home to be with the kids on Sunday. So I will say that Darlington, if you've never been, is your turn the bitch up.
yeah,
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
want to go personal best, turn that motherfucker up.
yeah.
That track hooks, man. It's an awesome track, man. It's awesome.
Ri-
Right off 95, man.
So
So
Ricky, tell me
Yeah.
about something about JPC versus Goldfinger tuning.
Oh Lord, look at
He don't want that. He don't want that drama.
No, we gotta change the name now. Now
Nah,
it's
he said
changed. Name change.
JPC. He got to find some JPC cars somewhere.
Yeah, good point. Hey, but you know what? They were at Lights Out today, and they were saying, "Oh, the JPC car." I'm like, "It's not a JPC car. It's a next gen car at Lights Out."
Yeah.
So Tommy, I love Tommy. Tom and I go back a ways. Carter and I have been kind of beefing a little bit, so I'm like, you know what, Carter, motherfucker, we're gonna do Eric versus Eric, right? And it's not that I'm mad at those guys. I think it'll be a badass shootout because they got some badass cars there. Let's be honest. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do an Eric versus Eric race. Obviously, Lewis, you know about it because you're one of the cars. And
Yeah, you
maybe
called me the one day. You're like, are you down for the shootout? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, sure. Okay, I'll call you back.
So I think maybe towards the end of the year when everybody gets calmed down a little bit, we can probably figure something out. They got some badass rides that come out of that camp, and obviously we got some badass rides too. So
Yeah,
I think the crowd would love it, but we'll see.
nice. So that's all it is. Just a shootout.
Some fun.
Yeah,
Like some fun,
a
man.
4-car shootout. Yep.
Nice. So you guys watching Lights Out stuff yet or no?
Yeah, I've been watching it. They got a diesel car in the RVW.
Have you watched the X275? So let me give you guys a little history that don't know. So we used to race X275 back in 2013, and we were competitive. And we ran 470s, high 460s with Chris Little and all them guys. We are locking in for sure this year. Who are you locking in?
He talking about you.
First, I'm not allowed to speak Carter's name out my mouth. He told me, so you guys can talk to him.
I'm locking Carter in. I split his dome last NCS race. That's it.
So we used to run X275. So let me give you we'll give you guys a little history and how fast the industry progresses. 470s was competitive. Chris Little, all them guys we used to run with, and we were competitive. We did pretty well. They're running 14s now, like back to back to back to back. So they're 0.6 faster from 2013 to 2025, which seems like a long time. It is, it's 12 years.
Yeah.
But how fast can these fucking cars go? You know, you're
Yeah.
running
Threes.
14s with an 88 millimeter turbo and whatever the weight is now. It's insane.
I honestly think that White Rice is going to be going rounds again. That's
We're
just
we're
my
gonna decide that because he's getting knocked the fuck out.
yeah. I'm just saying that is the car for that class. I remember when Duck said if any import beat any of them domestic cars or went rounds, like that car had to get banned, right? I remember this and I think it was the Titan car that really put in work, and that's when they decided to not allow that car with that
It was
Liberty or whatever it had in it with a lockup.
it's kind of MIA now, but you got people like the McCain brothers and they're and Ron Rhodes who's the champion, and that's an insane class, man. You got guys out there and I'm not gonna misquote the weights, but at certain weights and turbo sizes, Billy Lackey's down there putting in work. I know he's
Hmm
got some issues trying to keep the car straight, but man, you're running 14s
Yeah.
at 2,900, 26, and I know the nitrous guys are a lot lighter, but that's incredible.
That's rolling for that weight, man.
People don't
That's
realize how fast 14s are. Like
Yeah.
you get to 30s, you're fast, and you're like, holy fuck, it's hard to get to 20s. When you go from 20s to O's, and then they go to the threes, holy shit.
Yeah, you're flying. So
Shut up, Jared Brunner.
Who would you guys pick as your winner in Pro 275?
Go ahead. I don't know if they're watching it or not.
I haven't really looked at Pro 275 right about now, but
they got 6 or 7 cars in the 70s.
Really?
Yes.
I like Mo Hall. I'm a Mo. Mo knows best, man. Mo
I
knows
think
best.
I honestly think Mo Hall's gonna take it. That was my
He-
pick.
I don't think he hasn't done so well so far with the first round, but he'll figure it out. I'm sure he'll figure it out.
Yeah. What about
How many?
that RVW record?
49?
They
Was it
just went
49? Was it
49. Yeah,
49?
that was
49?
47.
40s what?
I went a 7.
347.
Oh,
What's Tommy
Yeah,
got on?
it was
Carolina
a
No
47
Time?
versus a 49.
Tommy,
Yeah.
what do you got on? Carolina No Time?
he got it. He got Lance shirt on.
Yeah,
One of my favorite
Yeah.
fucking brands.
Yeah. It was a 47, and then the Pro 275 turbo record was broken today as well.
What was that? I didn't see it.
366.
Oh,
Pro 275?
Mhm.
366.
Who was that?
Brad Edwards.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad dude right there.
Yeah.
It's the
And
you
it's
said
cold down
Vortec
there.
on the side, wasn't it?
So I talked to Ralph Hardesty today. Yesterday, he actually had a problem. He's on the way home. Ralph Hardesty with that beautiful 1967 Chevy 2, that Pro Charge big block.
What class
Yeah.
was he running in?
Um,
Don't make me lie to you.
LDR?
I don't know. I'm coming across pretty ignorant right now, but he ended up sucking a valve up into the head. So I don't know if he
Really?
stressed the valve. Brand new fucking motor. But yeah, he's on. But they said it's cold. It was very cold today down there.
Gotcha.
I mean, shit. Norfolk got 12 inches of snow over last night.
yeah, Virginia Beach, 13 inches.
Wow.
13 inches down at the RFD facility. Shout out to them boys. Yeah, down at the RFD facility, you got 13 inches, man.
Wow.
Hey, what I will say is we were on live the other night or the other day, and fucking T Wayne's talking shit. I don't know if you guys caught it or not.
I saw that on Larry McKenzie
I
live.
tagged you guys. They have rag.
I was lining up on the frame machine. I was lining up.
What was the shit?
So
What was he saying?
Carter, Daniel, and T Wayne grudge race last year down at Brawlford, all 4. T Wayne edged him out a little bit. He probably shouldn't have won. I don't think, but Carter's been chasing him for a year trying to get a run back, and T Wayne won't do it. I mean, we've invited him to everything known to mankind, but he goes on the live and yesterday and pretty much says, that raggedy ass Carter Daniel. So
Carter's a dud.
Carter's a dud. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Carter's a dud.
That race has got to happen, man. You got to give the man a run back. You know what I mean?
That's
It
crazy.
definitely got to happen, man. I just didn't get it. I was like, dang, you beat the guy once, you should be able to beat him again. I mean, but if you're the baddest dude in North Carolina, you beating up on all them other cars and you're going to other tracks and you're running, you should have no problem coming up here and getting some of that.
Yeah, and I'm not taking anything away from him. The car's fast and he puts in work, but man, give the man the run back. I mean, I think Carter's chased him all over the East Coast.
So how does for the heavy hitter street, how does it work? Like, do you get one shakedown, two shakedowns?
It's
Drive to the
event.
lanes. I'm
It's event
assuming.
special. It's event. It depends on the event and how much time they have. How many
Yeah,
classes
it
they have.
depending on exactly. This depends on the flow of what we got going on for those events, right? If there's availability to do two shakes, we do two shakes. If we're doing one, we're just doing one shake and we're baking after that, just because of time and we want to give the people a show. And I hate with a passion not finishing a race. Like that is like my number one thing is to finish the race because I don't like having the guys get down to four guys. They've been there all day and have to split something, right?
Yeah.
Like that is like to me is like I failed, right? So for me, it is a mission. I make it like a mission to make sure that the race gets done. Like we are going to get this done.
That's a lot of the staffing and you go to Cecil. Halsey is very proud and he is going to finish that fucking race. And if you split and don't he doesn't care if you split and you do it on the side, but if you don't race that final, you're not saying a lot back to that track.
Yeah. Yeah,
Facts.
he's
a
very
racer.
tight. He's very tight with his schedule.
Yeah. I like that kind of order. And I will say that in the no time side, we're getting better, gradually getting better, but it's like I want it to be like great. Like if we always had an event where we finished. And you've been when we went down to different events down south where they didn't finish, man. And it was like, dang, dog, we've been here all day.
Yeah.
And we didn't even get to finish, and we don't even have no curfew, and we still don't finish. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
I will say this, I don't know if you guys have heard Bruce Stiles and David O are doing that small tire Mania.
Yeah.
So two of the no clock street heavy hitter street guys were in the top 16.
Nice.
So
actually there's three. There's three. So you also got Nick Coleman.
He's not in the top 16.
Oh, and he's not. That is true. He's not. But he is one of the other street cars. Yeah, that's right.
Buckler were 9 and 10.
Oh, yeah.
So what was that? What's the kind of the deciding factor that puts, like, I'm not trying to throw shade anywhere, right? So let me say this carefully. How does Daniel Buckler go before Didi?
There was guys on that list. I probably haven't seen their cars in like 2 years.
Well, listen, this is the thing too, Tommy, is how do I go 17? So
I saw some comments, right? And somebody commented that there was, I don't know, some criteria, right? So I'm trying to look.
What I heard was how much you support the DMV and you're an impact to the DMV, how much you are active, how fast you are, and how recognized you are.
All right. So in all of those categories, again, my question is how does Iceberg Slim fall behind Becky? Because Iceberg Slim is number one, the fan favorite. Number two, probably one of the most grudge-winning street cars. Goes to every class, travels everywhere.
Yep, he travels everywhere. Yep.
Big money races. It's a known car. Like, don't get me wrong, Daniel's car is fast. It's on its way up. It's just not Iceberg Slim though, right? And then I put out a.
He beat Didi
up last year. Hey, look, that might be the case, right? That might be the case. But
he showed out at Bridge Wars. He showed out at
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what though? He showed out at Bridge Wars. So D-Buck showed up.
I think the thing is, and I'm not bad mouthing their committee. I don't think their committee knows a lot about small tire. I mean, I love Ricky Fox. Him and I've been racing in the street since we were 18 years old. He hasn't been out in a couple of years. He's got a new car come out. It's going to be badass. He went number 2. You got Ransom that went number 1. You got JJ Rogers, Jeff Rogers, not JJ, Jeff, who should go in the top 1 or 2. All right, he should. But a lot the list didn't make sense to me.
Brian, did your smoke detector just go off?
Yeah, I gotta change the battery in the
man, get all the way off the show, man. I know I heard that.
I gotta change the battery.
How you got battery chirping?
Man. What, man? Hey, look, don't be hating, man. I forgot about this. I was like, dang, man.
Listen, the funny thing is, I watched a funny video today, and it was like a car salesman selling a car to a black guy who was selling like a fucking Hellcat or something, and it was the alarm, the smoke detector kept going off.
Hey, I was like, man, I guess I don't ever really pay attention to it, but dang, I guess y'all could hear that.
$3
Take yours
batteries.
worth it. You know what? I just got to go put a new one in there.
Joey
Been
Boy says, wasn't it a
slacking.
popularity voting thing? But again, that would go right back to my question. It's Iceberg Slim is just more popular, I think. Maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe they're putting Iceberg out to pasture slowly. Maybe that's what it is.
I didn't totally get it. That's why I put the post up, and I never really got them. I mean, they told me their answers. It's their shootout. It's their class, so it is what it is.
That's
I
cool.
was
So what
just
happens now? They put all these names on a list, and then what do?
so the first 16 will run for the 10 grand. The 17 through 32 are like the secondhand children. We're like the B class, and we'll run for
Right.
whatever we'll run for cheeseburgers and chicken nuggets, I guess. So
Well, what if
Nice.
you guys, put in your own pots or something like that?
yeah, unless we So what I did do was and I'll stand by is I said whoever wins that 16, we'd like to grudge them that night if there's time or whenever the next race is. We'd like to grudge whoever
nice.
wins that race. Yeah.
Nice.
So, but
Um,
there's a lot of exciting things going on in 2025. NCS is going to be better and better and better and better than it was last year. I'm sure there's a lot of hype around that. The heavy hit, they aren't running all 32 at the same. They are running all 32 at the same race, which so they didn't want to run 32 together because they didn't have enough time, but they're running 16 and 16, which is still 32, whatever. So with that being
9 plus
said,
10 equals 21.
there's a lot of 2025 is going to be epic. I mean, there's a lot of none of us on here. Maybe Lewis might he wants to go to like Texas and stuff. There's a lot of big things happening. Fred stepped his game up. Tommy's got his hands full with the No Clock Street. There's a lot of Mike Hill's stuff is going to be off the chain this year. Lance Stafford stuff is going to be crazy. Big Jake stuff is going to be insane. Bodie's got a big. It's going to be a crazy year.
the heads up, no time stuff is hot.
No
now.
time is not dying. I can promise you that is only
absolutely.
increasing and growing.
When you have
Yeah.
class racers coming to no time,
Yeah,
you're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Who wants to qualify 5 rounds just to, you know what I mean? Like that, be there 5 days out of the week just to go. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do that.
It's hard for a car like Lewis that's a Hemi, to have to qualify five round. It's just
a
numbers,
lot.
man. It beats the Hemis. It beats them up, So it's better to go somewhere and shake it down once or twice and then run 4 rounds for 25 grand.
I mean, look at nitrous guys. I mean, I don't blame them for coming over.
They still have
switching
nitrous
over.
cars. They still got those things.
Apparently, man, they got nitrous
Tommy,
only
they
everything.
they still sell nitrous.
Apparently.
I feel sorry for the
That's
guy
a
that
nitrous
builds a
office.
turbo G body. Truthfully, I
Don't
feel sorry for the guy that
tell
builds a
Chris
turbo G
Wilkinson
body.
that, man. Hey, that dude, he put that Nova almost every race in the Elite Eight, so don't sleep on him.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know he got like some of the most views off of that War on Wheels race.
Yeah, he went 660 feet, melting the fucking Jersey wall.
So Daniel said,
Hey.
"Yeah, isn't there a race master committee that will decide where the cars get paired when they get paired, kicked into?" Yeah, so so just so you guys know, Lewis, I don't know if you paid attention or not, or Tommy's seen it or not. The 16 cars, I think they're going to draw chips, and let's say Daniel Buckler pulls a Jeff Rogers. They're going to the committee will decide what stipulations there is. So they might tell Daniel Buckler he has to run heads up because he's boost against Jeff Rogers' big, huge nitrous 2,200-pound car, and we'll see. I'm not bad mouthing it, but it's going to be interesting to see what spots are given out.
That idea sounds pretty good. I mean, I heard that one before.
Yeah, till it goes wrong for the other side,
Right.
and then it's just to argue. It's just to
I
argue.
feel like that was done before, but
we have done it before. We've done it at Bridge Wars. But it's gonna be tough, Tommy, and it's gonna be tough. I think the mentality is they think like boost is boost. Boost is not boost.
No.
Boost is not boost, and they feel like boost has got these guys were like the holy grail of racing. We had this incredible top end pull, which the nitrous guys run too. So it'll be interesting to see.
And don't forget the blower guys and gals in there, because you got Brandy. Like I'll be honest with you, The way her car was running down at Bradenton, and don't get me wrong, Bradenton, man, I love that track. Like, it doesn't even matter. We could throw anything at it down there. I can't even
That's
run
gonna
fast
be the
enough. Like,
track
the
of the
car ain't got
South.
enough in it for that. They stay on top of it pretty well, but the way her car was running down there, like, it's a problem up front for me. And all these years, I would say all these years, last couple of years, every time she calls me out, I squeak past that car. But I promise you, the last time we raced, very last NCS, she was basically on the bumper. If you take the screenshot at the finish line, there is no space. And that was with both of us with bad transmissions. Like, that's it. And her bell mouth's falling off, and like just stuff with that car that's the things that are just, it's not made to do. It's all up front. That car's a monster. So, and that's not a turbo car. And we're all trying to force her to go turbo, but it'd be tough for me with the turbo to go around her.
Aren't you like the CEO of Next Gen now? Just take the fucking car up there and bring it back with turbos on it.
Hey,
but by the way, she is too. So you know what I mean.
So,
Well, you might be cut off for a little while.
check in on the cameras, like, hey, what's going on?
Daniel Buckler just said. He just said in the comments. Robert Medley, get off here. He was.
Yeah, missing link ain't no joke, or whatever car's in there.
Daniel said if it's free entry, so if they're going to say if you don't like it, just go to fuck home, which is true. I mean, it is free entry, so it's free entry, $10,000. So people are going to go and they're going to try their hand. I mean, you got Meat in there. Meat's in there. I think Meat went number. What did Meat go?
He was up there. Yeah, he was. He made it. He made
15
it.
or 16. Yeah, Meat beat me out. So.
The free entry thing is wild, but you know that's also something we've thought about with No Clock Street. With the entry, dude, it's only $35 to race on a Friday night, and you're guaranteed at least 3 passes. You know, you can't even get into a test and tune with good prep for that.
Right.
Nah.
So it keeps the crying down. Like, if you don't like it, don't pay the $35. Don't come and whatever. So heavy hitter street's a little different because it depends on where the track is and what the track owner wants to do, and are they going to throw in money on top? And if not, then we got to come up with it all before we get to the gate. And some tracks take the money from you at the gate, and then you get a percentage out of that. So then the race master got to come out of pocket.
You're giving me PTSD right now.
Yeah.
That was the goal.
It's always a trick for that treat.
Sometimes
right there,
the race master steals the money. You don't even know what's happening. Race master buys some apparel.
I had to get Jared Brunner shirt. I had to pay for it somehow.
Yeah,
give it to me for free.
Yep, took it right out of Terrace's grocery bags full of money at the gate. Bro, that's how they count their money there, man. Like, I don't know how they don't get robbed. You got to have more police presence there or something, man. It's like they got a big old black trash bag and they're just digging ones out of this thing to give you change. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Hey, listen,
Shit's
Tommy,
wild, bro.
it's bad. It's bad when I bring, and I worked really hard at that first race. I brought a lot of spectators, a lot of racers, and they still charge me to come in the gate.
Yeah, wow. I don't worry. I still got to pay for No Clock Street and stuff. So,
wow.
Yo, what?
Hey, look, keep the tracks open, right?
Lewis, have you made an NCS race yet?
No, not yet. I'll have to.
You should probably. I don't know when the first one. I think it's April.
April 19th.
April
18th. I'm sorry. April 18th.
It's the Friday before Larry's.
It's the Friday night. Yes, the Friday.
Yeah, you probably won't be able to make that, but you got to make one and just check the vibe out.
Okay, for sure. Who do you guys think is going to win the No Time class this weekend?
No Time class this weekend. Which one? All Steel Glass? Because I think they got the other one. They got like 2 classes.
Oh, really?
3.
I thought they only had the one.
I thought they got the truck class too.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I guess Extreme 28. Who do you think is going to win? Because I don't know. I don't know who's competing in All Steel Glass.
I didn't see who was in. I didn't see anything. I was working all day long, man. I've been in the shop.
I know only one I know in All Steel Glass right now is Don Burton. So, and Don's down there doing his thing. So.
Oh well, if that's the case, yeah. Don's in there. He's rolling.
It doesn't matter who's left in there. If Don's on the property, I'll put my money on that guy.
Is Eric down there? I thought I saw Eric at the starting line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
hard.
Yeah, man.
Listen, you're not mistaking Eric's walk in his hat and his hoodie. You're not. You can't mistake that.
Right.
I said that's fucking Eric right there. I see him.
Yeah.
Eric's a
Uh,
good fucking guy.
I think Fletcher Cox might take it. In the
Is he
Extreme
there?
28. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that. I mean, let me tell you something. After he got his dick slapped around last year in Texas, he's not coming back the way he was last year. I can promise you that.
Well, who knows? They might run it back because Justin's going to be there as well.
Oh, well, there's that. Well,
I don't know who's driving for Justin this weekend because isn't Travis Harvey somewhere else, or is he
No,
there?
Travis is at Lights Out.
So he's driving.
Well-
He's driving prenup.
Probably because they're also bringing the Sir Vincent car.
Yeah, that car's there.
Yeah, and then prenup. They're bringing
Yeah.
prenup and Sir
Yeah,
Vincent.
yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
Man, if I
Well-
didn't have my little boy, Lewis, we'd be jumping on a plane heading down there. I got my little boy this weekend, so I can't go.
Yeah, that's a short trip too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Be watching it on Flow.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for Flo. My ass is cheap.
You know what, man? I get it. I get got every year because I forget about it, and it just hits you 150.
Well,
You're like,
well,
dang,
didn't
man,
you-
where does this come from? Flow.
Didn't
Yeah.
Daniel Hume help us all out last year?
Every year.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, every year.
Oh,
Every
we gotta
year.
tell Daniel, do it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
So before we hop off, any shout outs? Any last words?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I mean-
shout out a lot of people. I got to shout
Yeah,
out.
I mean, I'd like to. I mean, I got some shout outs. Obviously, we've had some issues last year towards the end of the year with one of our millers. We had Terry Samakow really take care of us this year. At Richie Machine Shop, Terry Samakow is an incredible engine builder. Shout out to Jared Brunner, who's always been there for us. Billy Gordon, Eric Gold, our main tuner, Don Bangs, and all the people that help us make this happen. Listen, you can't, and you know as well as I do, Lewis, you can't go fast without good people. I mean, if we didn't have the people we've had in the last year and a half, 2 years with us, the guys I just mentioned, we'd still be in the fucking ice age. So
Yeah.
shout out to them guys. As far as sponsors, me and my father, our pockets are fucking empty, man.
Right. What about you, Tommy? Anybody?
I'm gonna shout out and try to get a sponsor on board, Duracell, for Bryan's fucking smoke detector battery. Maybe get him to sponsor his whole house. I'm sure it ain't just one. But no, only thing I really like, there's too many sponsors and stuff for No Clock to really shout out. The main sponsor obviously is us in Dental Billing Group. That will likely change. This might be the last year for Dental Billing Group to be that sponsor, as we're trying to move that over to Next Gen Performance. So obviously there's all the years I've been doing this, there's one dentist I've ever met at the track. So I do got to shout out Brandy, because people think that she makes money on this. When I tell you it's a huge loss, and she's only does this just to race, just to have a place to race, just to see, people get together on a Friday night. So that's a big one there.
I mean, she
I
was
also
one
wanna
of the original
put out-
sponsors for Heavy Hitter Street. I mean, I came to your guys' house and she stroked a check, boom, like that.
Yeah, she's a hardcore racing. Like, she's one of those people. You should probably at some point bring her on the show. You'll get some views, that's for sure.
Put her and Alyssa on here. Hey, can you imagine her and Alyssa on here?
Her and who?
An attractive blonde and an attractive brunette on here? Shit.
yeah, you're gonna get some views, but
We'll just spectate. We'll have them talk.
right, yeah, they can just talk about whatever on their Instagrams or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty wild. I do, like I said, there's too many sponsors and stuff for NCS. I'm looking forward to a good season. I need some more sponsors for the War on Wheels race, the DraftKings. Because the idea is so that way everybody on the winning team, and there'll be 13 in total, obviously with the team captain, to take away $1,000 a piece and
Whoa.
pay nothing. So I feel like that's a good deal. We are halfway there. We've got some good ones there. Scotty Wheels. I don't know how many know of. I don't know if it's Hunks Barbecue or some shit. Tom Brown Jr. He's got the barbecue thing. He's throwing in Michael
You're
Harris,
talking
Poorhouse Performance.
13,000?
Yeah,
That's
so
a check. That's a check.
yeah. Well, don't forget it's 13 racers, and my idea is to make sure. You know me, I want to put on a show, dude. Like just
That's a
whatever we
show
did,
right there. That's a
list
show right
versus
there. Like
list. I want two teams to go at it. And I'm not saying that the losing team is walking away with anything, because the way I have it worked out, they'll walk away with about, I don't know, it's like $200 a piece or something like that, or 250. So if you pay nothing, or you pay, it's $100 buy-in, but by the time you get that money back, you're racing for free. You're making money. So you could lose your race and still be on the winning team and still walk away with
$1,000.
$1,000. So I just feel like that's pretty dope. We need some sponsors there. And then the last thing from me is, one of I call him No Clock family members, Michael Hare. He had to lay his brother to rest today. Obviously, he was involved in that plane crash in DC. So, just from our perspective, I'm sure you guys as well, all of our thoughts are with him and his family. So
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
that's
What
it on
about
my
you,
end.
Bryon?
Well, I want to thank these two guys right here, man, because they brought me on, right? They brought me on with the streetcar stuff, and kind of like ran with it, and it's been helping them promote and push the whole streetcar game to like a whole new level of everything. I think it just feels good when you put together something and you promote something where they start making rules to try to push your guys out because you're just too fast. Like to me, that is like an accomplishment, right? Like I feel like that's an accomplishment. So I thank these two guys right here for just helping and just guiding me through a lot of stuff. So I definitely appreciate those guys right there, and I appreciate every participant that comes to the races and jumps in these shootouts to put on a show for the fans, because we're doing something that nobody else has been able to do and bring a crowd of that magnitude to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's awesome to see what you can do on a Wednesday night without a whole bunch of like big time names. You know what I mean? Like it's friends, family, everybody that they're familiar with that is coming out to like cheer these people on. You know what I mean? It's awesome. Awesome feeling.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
what's that hat you have on? Let me see that hat you got on.
Oh, you see that hat right there?
That's one of
Where's
my
that
favorite
Lewis, you
hats.
son of a bitch? You son of a bitch.
I'm pretty shaved today, so I just
You're
wanted to show off the
fresh cut.
dome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am too, but I might start shining or something like that. You know
So
what I
how
mean?
about
I
you, Lewis?
got that little-
Who do you want to shout out?
Obviously all my sponsors,
Garrett.
I'd be, Garrett Turbochargers, Schaefer's Racing Oil. There's just so many of them. NGK Spark Plugs.
Motec. Motec.
Motec. Haltech.
Oh no, you're Haltech. You're Haltech.
I was like, damn, he got Motec. Oh, that's
No, he went Haltech.
I ain't that rich. Eric Gold, Don Bangs, my goddaughter Athena, just everybody that helps me out, Brandon Wessner, just all the people that help me out, and I can't wait to get back in the seat full time.
You're gonna be a little rusty. I'm gonna call your ass out quick.
Nah. So you forget that I'm also a bracket racer. So I bracket raced last year. So I'm not. I'll be right there, dead on the tree.
He's probably got a simulator in his house right now.
You know he does.
I do have a simulator.
I know, that's how I said it. He got a simulator. That dude is ready. That dude is ready.
Bounty Hunter,
Drag racing? Yeah, I know you. I know you got that.
It's going to be crazy because there's a lot of people that run in our 275 Extreme, 275 Unleashed, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Everyone stepped their game up. You got Lewis who put a Hemi in the car. We built a new car. You got Mo that's got twin turbo big block now. I mean, you got Jared come out with a car who's going to compete with the best of the best. It's going to be an exciting year on the 275 standpoint.
I remember going 420s was fast, and in my opinion, if you're going 420s or slower, in extreme 28s, you kind of don't stand a chance.
No,
you might as well just go put glass in the car.
Yep, exactly.
Go
Go
put some
glass.
You know, this year for NCS and Heavy Hitter Street, we got a lot of people that came, got beat, and have came back with something better. Like, there's been so many people that stepped their game up. It is crazy. Like Anthony Aquavia, the case in point, Glock 40.
Let me
He
ask you
came
guys a
out.
question. Let me ask you guys a question before we get off. Who do you think was the most, let's call it improved, or is going to be the most, we'll use the word improved for a lack of better description, NCS racer for 2025? Who's stepping there? Who's gonna come out and be like, holy shit, that car is fucking fast?
You know, man, just because I've like talked to him in the off season,
Ricky Shiflett.
I'm gonna say Michael Hare.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I would say Shiflett, Hare, definitely Daniel Buckler. I think those three guys are going to shock some people.
Daniel Hume.
Yeah, Hume's gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. Hume. And then
Oh, we lost
Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah, we lost Tommy. Android problems.
I have an Android.
I think.
Oh, I got another one that's coming out, and I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Nobody.
we're saying not coming out. We're saying coming out swinging from last year. I think. I don't know enough. I think one of the top dogs last year is not going to run that car this year in that class. I think he's going to bring another class. Oh, Tommy's back.
I had to change my smoke detector batteries. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I had to run off and do that real quick.
I think the bar is going to be a lot faster than it was last year, and they were fast last year.
Which class you talking about? Street?
Yeah. The NCS.
NCS?
The Elite 8.
2 years in a row, we've moved the bar. I'm telling you, year one, 2023, and I say year one for us sponsoring it, that all-star field, I didn't even want no parts of it. If I was not Elite 8, I'm like, there's no way. I don't even want to race. Last year, man.
Hey, look, it's an any given chance. It's any given. You might be from Elite 8 and end up in All-Star field the following weekend. Like that's how crazy that is.
You get in the All-Star field. You're lucky if you get in the All-Star field.
Yeah,
man.
So,
it's 16.
If y'all see me get All-Star field, man, I might just do like the stanky leg all the way down the track, man.
Ricky Shiflett last year was in the All-Star a couple of times, and he's a contender. And he's coming back. He's coming back faster. It's going to be interesting.
That just goes to show you how much everybody stepped up, right? Because even if you're in the B field and you go rounds, you're still fast. You're not like, I can say this: an all-star car could go down south and still do work.
Yeah,
true.
It did. Look at Anthony
Block 40.
The car down. Anthony took that car down to whatever was South
Popeyes
Georgia.
race. Yeah, we went to the Plex. Yep, we went to the Plex, and my man went rounds and went to the finals against the Coyote car on a 9. I think on a 98.
Yeah,
and
nitrous. BL Fab 98. Yep.
Yeah, and nitrous. The car. That car is fast. But
we would ask you, Lewis, but you don't know shit about NCS.
Boy, we some gangsters though. It's some gangsters, man. It's some
weak ass fucking 275 guy.
Like I said, man, I love it.
You would be surprised, man. Like if you pulled up on a Friday night, I think you would honestly be like, "There's no way there's this many fast cars here." Like it's that badass.
I might, like I said, I might switch to a street class or something because
we talked about
extreme,
that.
Extreme 28 stuff. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
Way too expensive.
Hey, hold on. Don't think these motherfuckers don't have money in their cars. But
I don't have money in my car.
Shit.
I don't have money in my car.
Tommy had that basic. My man had iBox springs on that Joker like last year.
I still got BMR drag springs on there. I don't even have coil.
Yeah, that's what it is. The BMR, he got BMR springs. I'm telling you, he got basic.
Yeah, wow. That car's got some Viking Warriors on there with some with the stock free link with poly bushings in it, and I'll still throw up money and run somebody over.
He loves his wife because she gets all the good shit.
She does. She has all her. See, the way my bank account is set up, it's a little different than hers.
Got the checking
Hey,
and the savings.
Listen,
Right.
good show tonight, fellas. I
Yeah.
appreciate everybody coming
Thank
on.
you so much, guys, for hopping
Thank
on. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Thank you.